Season 6 of NBA 2K21 MyTeam is a wrap. Season 7 is about to drop, or just has dropped probably when you're seeing this. So this is our last chance really to look back at Season 6 and get a sense of what the best cards in the game were. Welcome y'all, I'm KR Magic, and this is the first video version of the r/MyTeam subreddit community positional rankings. So we're gonna rank the top 5 cards in the game at the end of Season 6 at each of the 5 starting positions. This is done through a community process, so I gather votes from basically anybody willing to submit their votes for their positional rankings. The rules are that you can place a vote for a player at either position that they are eligible and at multiple positions. The reason for that is we want to evaluate each of these positions individually. So, if Ben Simmons is great at point guard and great at power forward, I want to know that, even if you probably are a lot more likely to play him at point guard, somebody else may be trying to evaluate Ben Simmons versus another power forward. And so the whole point of all of this is to help players have a sense of what the meta is going to look like, but also to stimulate discussion and talk about how people evaluate cards and compare cards, because I think that's a lot of the fun of the MyTeam mode. Certainly, I think that's one of the reasons that we even go to the r/MyTeam subreddit. But shout out to r/MyTeam for participating. I think we had a great turnout for this season's awards. Let's get into the awards themselves. Starting off with the point guard. We're going to start at the 5th position and work our way up. And the 5th point guard is Dark Matter Pete Maravich, the token market god himself. You got Pete Maravich as a reward for redeeming all of the token market Galaxy Opals, and there was limited to just 2,000 of him. So this isn't a card I think a lot of people got to use, but we know Pete moves devious on the court, and he has 6'5" frame, so maybe a little bit outsized by the point guards of the day, but with 40 Hall of Fame badges and really the ability to do pretty much anything on the court. Great speed as well. All he was really lacking really is the size and interior defense and some of the dunking that came with that, but otherwise Maravich a pretty complete card. At the number 4 spot, we have Dark Matter out of position Kobe Bryant. Now this card, a little bit more of what I think people would expect from this position. 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan and 41 Hall of Fame badges, 18 gold badges. Again, not the most prolific interior defender or anything of that sort, but otherwise a very strong and impressive card. I think a lot of it depends on how you feel about Kobe's animations, his jump shot, but this is clearly one of the top cards in the game when it came out and has persisted as one of the best point guards. At the number 3 spot is one of the newest cards, Lonzo Ball from the Moments set. So Lonzo returns, his pink diamond basically gets an upgrade, 6'6", 6'9" wingspan for this version of Lonzo with 36 Hall of Fame badges. But if you played with that Lonzo pink diamond, you already know what this card could get into. He feels like he plays a little bit bigger than he is, and I think people really got comfortable with that jump shot that landed Lonzo Ball's Moments card at the number 3 spot. At the number 2 spot, out of position Grant Hill. We're going back to the out of position set for this one, to the Detroit Pistons legend. 42 Hall of Fame badges on this 6'8" point guard with 6'11" wingspan, 23 gold badges to go with that, 98 speed on top of all of the size, 90 plus in nearly every category aside from some of the low post categories, blocking and rebounding. Not maybe the best ball handler of any of the guards that you could get, but clearly made up for that with his size and ability to defend. Really just an all-around card. And I imagine that you could guess number 1 at this point. It's Dark Matter Ben Simmons from the Warped Reality set. This is not a surprise at all. This card is completely dominant. maybe the best defensive card in the game right now, between his size, 6'10", with a 7-foot wingspan, 230 pounds, and then just incredible stats across the board. 84 interior defense does not represent how well this card can defend. A little lacking on rebounding, but I think that's kind of the only qualm you can have for him. Not a tremendous ball handler, but like, does it matter when you're so big and fast with 96 speed and such a tremendous finisher at the rim? Plus you add that 3-point shot that everybody was waiting for Ben Simmons to get. This is a game changer. It really shifted the meta for this card to come out, and it really wasn't close. Ben Simmons and Grant Hill 1 and 2 in almost every ballot. And then from there was a little more competition for the rest of the spots. Luka Doncic and Galaxy Opal Luka Doncic and Dark Matter Kevin Porter Jr., the first ones out behind Pete Maravich, and that is your Season 6 positional point guard rankings. Let's move on to the shooting guards. Starting with number 5 at the shooting guard position for Season 6, we had a tie. Dark Matter J.R. Smith, as well as Hero Michael Jordan, tying for that last spot. Both of these cards 6'6", pretty solid cards, I would say, but they don't blow you away necessarily. I'm a little surprised to see JR perhaps get this high. He has Hoff steady shooter, so it depends on whether you're on next gen or current gen for him. But both of these cards, obviously a lot to like about them at the shooting guard position, even though maybe they're a little bit undersized. Coming in as the number 4 shooting guard, Galaxy Opal Kawhi Leonard, the Caesar Award from last season, manages to hold on to a spot in the shooting guard rankings at number 4, and I think it took a late comeback. I wasn't really sure that he was going to make it onto these rankings, but still just a tremendous defensive card with that 7'3" wingspan, standing at 6'7", and just those Kawhi animations that you can't really, it feels like you can't get anywhere else. Plus a very buttery jump shot. Kawhi able to hold on as the number 4 shooting guard. At number 3, we have glitched DeMar DeRozan, the Dark Matter, that I think there's a fair argument at one point was perhaps the best card in the game. 6'7", just a 6'9" wingspan, but 39 Hall of Fame badges, 20 gold badges for DeMar. And obviously DeMar's gonna dunk the hell out of the ball. All of his cards have been able to do that. It's got the Hoff Showtime, but now he started to move a little bit better and had a great jump shot. He always had a great jump shot animation, but now you add the 3-point shooting ability with the 95 3-point shot, and the ability to move with the ball, 93 speed with ball, and that really launched DeMar DeRozan into another level and the number 3 spot at the shooting guard. Next up at shooting guard, we're back in the out of position set. Yes, we're talking Kevin Durant, shooting guard KG, 6'10", 7'4" wingspan. What else do you need to know about KG? Now, he has more gold badges than Hoff badges. That's pretty uncommon at this point on the list. 39 golds versus 30 Hall of Fame badges. But look at the height, plus the 97 3-point rating, 94 speed, 95 driving dunk, 92 speed with ball. Not a great ball handler, but a player that once you got the rock in his hands with a chance to score, very difficult to stop KD, kind of like real life. I mean, hard to argue that he doesn't represent a bit of what KD brings to the court, and that helped get him to the number 2 spot in the shooting guard rankings. And that leads us to the number 1 Dark Matter Radioactive Tracy McGrady, 6'8", 7'2" wingspan, 39 Hall of Fame badges. These great T-Mac cards are always going to be some of the best cards in the game. People love his animations. He's a fan favorite, and the stats back that up. 97 speed, 98 3-point, 99 driving dunk, 96 perimeter defense, 97 lat quickness, 96 speed with ball, 97 ball handle. So he brought some of the playmaking creation ability that you didn't necessarily get from other shooting guards in the field. Altogether, this was a pretty contested category. Tracy McGrady barely beat out KD. Barely, but 1 voting point for T-Mac was all that separated those 2 spots. And then DeMar was pretty competitive as well. After that, there's a big drop off to Kawhi JR, Michael Jordan, and Trevor Ariza, Carmelo Anthony getting in the mix a little bit. But those back end cards were really fighting with each other. It was really a battle at the top as nearly every ballot had T-Mac, KD, and DeRozan in some order at the top of the shooting guard rankings. Let's move on to the small forwards. At number 5 on the small forward rankings, we've got another tie, Tracy McGrady and Bobby Jones. So Tracy McGrady coming over from the shooting guard position, Dark Matter T-Mac, and the new Galaxy Opal Bobby Jones. Now, I don't think a lot of people got to use Bobby Jones, but very popular as a pink diamond as well. A big player model, quality 3 and D player. Bobby Jones pretty effective, and he and T-Mac tying for that last spot on the small forward list. Coming in at the number 4 spot on the small forwards, Dark Matter Moments, Jason Tatum, April 30th moment. So one of the newest cards on the list, 6'8" height, 6'11" wingspan, 41 Hall of Fame badges for the big Boston wing. I think I was a little bit surprised to see a Jason Tatum even come out, given that we're waiting on that collection reward, so to speak, version of Jason Tatum. Now we know he's going to get the updated animations that this Tatum didn't get, and I think those animations are probably a big part of what holds him back, because he's got a great player model and he's got great stats, and the badges are perfect. I mean, there's not a lot more you can ask for from a small forward. Maybe a little bit more ball handling, maybe a little bit more on the defensive end, but otherwise Tatum really a strong card, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that collection reward. Coming in at number 3 is Warped Reality Galaxy Opal Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay, 6'8", 7'3", wingspan, 37 Hall of Fame badges, 28 gold badges. It's 94 perimeter defense, 90 interior defense, 90 steal and block made him a pretty capable defender with his size. 93 three-point shot, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 lat quickness, 98 driving dunk. What is there not to like about Rudy Gay? I mean, Rudy Gay is always a card that performs very well in NBA 2K, and 2K21 is no different, and this is one of the best small forwards in the game. Even has a dynamic duo if you want to get a little spicy. Speaking of rewards, we've got another reward card here at the number 2 spot, and it's Galaxy Opal Tony Kukoc. I don't know if anybody saw Kukoc coming, but the Chicago Bulls stands at 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, 41 Hall of Fame badges for the swing forward. Yeah, just 192 pounds, so can get bodied a little bit down low. Only 90 perimeter defense and 86 interior defense. I was a bit surprised to see him this high on the list. Also not a great dunker, but of course the guy is a sniper. He's got Hall of Fame showtime too. It's not like he can't finish around the basket, but maybe not quite the explosive player we see at some of the other positions. But people really liked this Kukoc card off the bat, so it didn't take long for him to make a big impression and get to number 2 in the small forward rankings. But the number 1 spot was never in question. It was always going to be another awards card, although this card was extremely controversial. This card, Danny Ferry, the Galaxy Opal Danny Ferry, triple threat offline reward, raised a lot of ire. There's a lot of reasons for that, and there are some people who just decided to abstain for voting for Danny Ferry. Otherwise, I think he would have swept the position as the number 1 player in nearly every ballot. 6'10", 7'5" wingspan, only 33 Hoff badges and 34 gold badges, but just the way this guy moves on the court, the speed of the jump shot, the consistency making really difficult shots, it makes up his stats. I don't even feel like quite do him justice. I mean, obviously they look really good. 95 speed, 97 three-pointer, 95 driving dunk, 90 interior and perimeter defense, 94 speed with ball, above 90 rebounding stats, pretty much every major badge you can want. Maybe a few you'd like of those gold badges to be Hall of Fame badges, but hard to complain given the animations and the way that Danny Ferry played. Just made him the best card in the game for quite a while. On to power forward, and we'll start at the back where we've started every other time with that number 5 spot, and this one caught me by surprise. It's Dark Matter Ben Simmons again. People comfortable running this card at the power forward position. Obviously not something you're going to see very often. Most people are going to want to put him at the point guard position, but if you were putting him up against the other power forwards, Simmons able to sneak in at this 5th spot, just showing you how impressive this card can be. Coming in at number 4 for the power forwards is Dark Matter Blake Griffin from the Idol series. 2 VIP set, 6'10", 6'11" wingspan, 250 pounds, and 48 Hall of Fame badges on this version of Blake. A 95.3, 95 speed. Obviously, the standing dunk is through the roof, maxed out, 90 plus in nearly every category. The only exception really being steals and passing vision and shot IQ and intangibles, like the meaningless categories, basically, aside from steal. So Blake, really just a great card. Animations and shot mechanics are going to be some of the things that you're looking at this card as a differentiator, and also maybe not as tall as some of the other players, but I think Blake is someone people really enjoy, and that's how he got to number 4 on this power forward list. Coming in at number 3, Galaxy Opal Danny Ferry is back. He is that good, folks, able to compete at the power forward position as well. We won't talk too much about him given that we've already gone over the case for Danny Ferry, so let's move on to the top 2. At this point, you probably have a good idea of who those top 2 players are going to be, but what order will they be in? Well, number 2 is Pink Diamond Bol Bol. I can't believe that I'm saying it myself, the Warped Reality card, but what are you going to argue about a pink diamond at this point in the year? But he's 7'2" with a 7'7" wingspan. 89 speed is a little bit low, but being gigantic makes up for a lot. People are slapping the right shoes on this guy. 85 perimeter defense is also a little bit low for this point in the year. 85 driving dunk. It all doesn't matter. Once he's on the court, his size is dominant. It makes up for so much on the defensive end in particular. It makes him hard to guard and hard to contest that shot. I mean, this was a card who outperformed his stats at every turn, and I think Bol Bol made a big impression. A pink diamond comes in number 2 in the season 6 power forward rankings. And so that leaves us with number 1. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo, the radioactive Galaxy Opal, 6'11", 7'4" wingspan, and he's got the Giannis player model and the Giannis animations. There's just something about Giannis. I don't know when Giannis is not going to put out great cards. Everything about this card works. 85.3, who cares when it's Giannis? Like with Bol Bol, that size and length really makes up for almost any deficiency. He's so hard to stop going to the basket. He's like a center, a point guard, a power forward, all of it rolled into one with his ability to move. The dribble animations, the defensive animations. I mean, Giannis is just a complete monster, a freak, I guess, is what you could say. And that's how he got to the number 1 spot in the power forward rankings. Our final position, center. And these last couple spots were heavily contested, but coming in at number 5, Pink Diamond Bol Bol is back. Again, that size, that wingspan, that 7'7" wingspan, the ability to move, the ability to shoot, everything is there for this Pink Diamond Bol Bol. It's hard to argue with him once you see him on the floor. He's the number 5 center in the season 6 positional rankings. Coming in at number 4, another card that I think has been a bit controversial and another rewards card that hung on. Galaxy Opal David Robinson taking the number 4 spot. 7'1", 7'5" wingspan, 35 Hall of Fame badges, just 55 overall total badges with 20 golds. I think there are a lot of people who started to sour on this card as the season wore on. People just kept complaining about the rebounding, but he's got 90 offensive and defensive rebounding, 89 speed with ball. This card had its day dominating the entire game, but still able to sit in that number 4 position with his ability to move and play great defense. That's all there for David Robinson, the number 4 power forward. Number 4 center. Number 3 center. This top 3 is, I think, where all of the drama was for the center position. And the player that came out in that 3rd spot is Dark Matter Shaquille O'Neal from Warped Reality. The Big Diesel, 7'1", 7'7" wingspan, 48 Hall of Fame badges. Shaq with a 3-pointer, a 96 3-pointer, no less. Hall of Fame range, no steady shooter, made him a beast on current gen. Shaq is a completely incredible card. Really, there's no qualms you can have with the card. You're really deciding at the margins between this and those other top 2 centers. Just a few votes ahead of Shaquille O'Neal is Dark Matter Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from the Radioactive set, the captain with 42 Hall of Fame badges, 15 gold badges on that 7'2" frame with a 7'5" wingspan, 225 pounds, 92 speed, and just an 81 three-pointer. But Kareem has that gigantic player model that makes him take up so much room. One of the game's premier interior defenders and rim protectors with 98 block and 98 interior defense. Capable perimeter defender with 90 perimeter D, 91 lateral quickness, and obviously a tremendous interior scorer as well. Someone who, you add a few badges to, you get the right shoes on him, and Kareem just became one of the toughest cards in the game to deal with. And that leaves the final center who takes that number 1 spot. It is, of course, Dark Matter Wilt Chamberlain from the Glitch set. 7'1", 8-foot wingspan, 275 pounds, 44 Hall of Fame badges to go with 21 gold badges. Moves incredibly quick for all of that size, but just someone who, just a wall at the rim, a really effective player attacking the basket, a much better 3-point rating than what Kareem has, even if maybe you're not as comfortable with his jump shot. 94 3-point rating for Wilt, 89 speed with ball to go with that, and badges just falling out of him. Wilt Chamberlain taking that number 1 center spot for season 6. So this is it, y'all. The squad for season 6. If you were starting the best player at every position, you'd have Dark Matter Ben Simmons at the point, Dark Matter T-Mac at the shooting guard, Danny Ferry running the small forward, Galaxy Opal Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Radioactive set at power forward, and center Wilt Chamberlain, the Dark Matter version, of course, coming in as one of the best cards in the game. And that's going to wrap up the season 6 positional rankings from the MyTeam subreddit. Community voted, community approved, but surely you have your own individual thoughts. Share those in the Reddit thread. That'll be linked in the comments below, or in the description below of the video. There you can also see all of the other receiving votes players. Check out the other threads. So if you want to get a sense of what the discussions look like and give your thoughts on who got snubbed, who's overrated here, who do you think was the best player overall in the entire game in season 6, make sure to get in the Reddit thread and make yourself known. Thank you for joining me for the video, and we'll be back in season 7 for another set of the positional rankings from r/MyTeam. Check out the MyTeam subreddit if you haven't already done so. And thank you for joining the video. I'm KR Magic, and may the pack gods be good to you.